Welcome back to the Wasteland, my friends. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Threezero Power Armor Chassis, or Power Armor Frame, whatever you want to call it. Now this action figure has so many unique details. You can see the character underneath the Power Armor Chassis. Like if you look closely, you can see his legs, you can see his arms, of course you can see his head, and all of that little detail like his vault suit underneath, you can actually touch, and it is leather, folks. It is actual leather that is distinguished from the frame because it's not like the same thing. It's like it's in there. It's hard to explain, but once you see more of this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. As you can see right there, you can actually see his hands if you look close enough, grabbing inside the Power Armor arms. You can see his chest if you look at that blue. That blue is not part of the frame. That's his vault suit. There you can see the back of his feet. Those are actual leather on the vault suit. It's so cool, and if you move it around, it's actually, flexible. You can actually touch it, and it feels like the leather. It's a separate part from the suit is how I'd explain it, because look at this. I go ahead and I touch it right there, and you can see it moves. It's got its own unique, properties, I'd say. It's a whole separate thing from the Power Armor frame, which is just really cool. You can't take the character out and, mess with the character because it is part of the frame, but, how I look at it, it feels like it's a different thing from the frame. Now going on to mobility, you can see he can move his arm much more than I can. Much more than the people that play a lot of Fallout. I'm just kidding. And you can see he moves his hands just perfectly. You can move every single joint. Like if you were to open up your hand and mess with your hand, that's how much mobility this thing's got, and more, because the thumb is super flexible. But yeah, you can literally move it all. It's absolutely insane. His head has got that perfect, range of motion. It can move all kinds of directions, up, down, sideways, much more than, someone who's got a bad neck can. And you can make his arm position and do questionable stuff if you'd like. Move his legs, great range of motion. And he can even move the top part of your leg. I don't even know what you'd call that. Kind of where your thighs, you can move that part as well as your ankle and the feet, of course. There's even this little bar on top of the Power Armor frame that you can move. You can move the feet of the Power Armor frame, and it's just insane. Like this will allow you to pose him in all kinds of directions. Believe me, I've done it. And it makes it way easier to pose this figure, stand him up, make him do cool things, and it's just so sick, guys. Like, look at the range of motion. It's absolutely absurd. And guess what? This little back thing, it even opens up and lets you take the fusion core out, which is connected by a magnet, which is just so freaking cool. I love this feature. And, if you couldn't take out the Power Armor fusion core, I'd be like, oh, whatever. But you can, and that's why it's so sick. Guys, my final thoughts are expensive as hell, honestly. But it's so worth it to me. And be sure to look out for the Power Armor reviews, because I'm going to slap some Power Armor on this frame, and I'll get those reviews out. So be sure to look out for those. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. May the Wasteland treat you with peace and prosperity.